Meanwhile, we have T. Murray in the studio, the author of the book Stuck on Stupid, a guide for today's single woman stuck in yesterday's stupid relationships. It's National Breakup Day. So what's the one thing you would say women should look out for so they don't end up being stuck on a stupid?
Again, you have to go with your gut. The intuition is
listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart and your intuition. If you have any reservations, if there's any issues, and then it's not always on the man's side. Sometimes it's on the woman's side, because there's some characters in the book that
women and issues. No, you're kidding me.
Exactly.
That's all in my book. Women who don't think like humans.
There are some women who are either they're settling, or maybe they're looking for the boyfriend that's just like the ex-boyfriend, and you're setting yourself up for failure in that way as well. So you have to, it's a mix of going with your intuition, but also kind of looking inward.
I love this one, The Investor, stuck on his riches. Girl, my man just bought me a new platinum ring, paid for my last round of Botox. How can I dump him now? He's taking me and my girlfriends to the Bahamas. Yeah, I might date him too. But this is. It
sounds good, but you're going to end up stuck because you're probably with someone that you're not attracted to, and the relationship won't last. I mean, sure, you've got all the monetary things, and Pink talks about that in her song. Talks about the bottle of champagne and looking for daddy. So,
but is it going to make you happy in the end?
It's not going to make you happy in the end.
Well, I love how you divide the whole book into all the different, like the clock watcher, like you've been talking about, the collaborator, the double agent. I want to know about the rubber cement type of guy.
Well, the sections they're divided into different sections, so each adhesive ingredient gets worse. So you start off with Velcro; those are the easiest ones, and then you have your masking tape, which is easy to remove, but then it just gets more difficult. So you have rubber cement, that's toxic, and then you have super glue, which is the worst one. So a rubber cement situation, I mean, again, I remember using rubber cement in junior high school, and that was kind of like the grown-up glue. And it smells really bad, and if you smell it for too long, you'll get sick. So a rubber cement man or a rubber cement situation is when, one, you're stuck, and it's probably going to make you sick, and you're going to have to get your stomach pumped after a while. So that's a little bit worse than a Velcro situation.
This book sounds like it was written by Bob Vila. More on This Old House or something. We're talking about 2x4s and rubber cement.
But guys can understand this kind of talk. We understand technical things like rubber cement and all home improvement.
Really?
Stuff.
Are you getting it? Because I'm not getting it. No.
I got it. And the whole series says I'm on your website, stuck on stupidbooks.com. Do you have a whole series that you're planning?
There's going to be a whole series. So you can be stuck on stupid in your career, stuck on stupid in health. And as far as health, that's the person that says I'm going to quit smoking, but they have a pack in their purse. I mean, so there's going to be a different book, because even if you've never been stuck on stupid in relationships like Steve here, I mean, you may have been stuck on stupid in your career, or you may have made a bad choice in the past, and you can come back and learn from it. So
now, are you going to keep just using your initial T. Murray on these books, or are you going to actually, because I can see a lot of issues. You need to get a first name. Using the initial.
That might be a problem.
That might be one of the things, because we've learned a lot about T.
Come on, S, give her a break.
Yeah,
her nickname in college was ATM, Ask T. Murray.
Yes, it was, and see, it's on my bag here, ATM. It turned into Ask Tiffany Murray, and it was Ask Me Anything, for the notes from class, for money, for advice. I mean, and that became a nickname that stuck with me up until now. So,
well, great to meet you, and we'll have to have you in again since you live here in Atlanta.
Please do.
Yeah,
we'd love that on National Breakup Day. What's the best, before we let you go, what's the best breakup story you ever heard from somebody else?
This is great. The best breakup story, this was a foiled attempt, I guess, at trying to have that breakup where you don't really talk to the person. And a girlfriend of mine had quit her job and was at home, and the guy thought that she wasn't at home. He calls her, they've been text messaging each other back and forth. He calls her thinking that it's going to be, I can just leave it on the voicemail, and she answers the phone. And so she's like, hello? And he says, and he says her name, which I won't say. And he ends up, making something up. He says, that coffee mug I left over there? Will you send it to me? And she just said, okay, I'll do that. And so the funniest thing was she just foiled his whole attempt. I mean, they ended up breaking up after that, but she took a picture of the phone, of the cup with her phone, put it in the mail, and then sent him a text message with the mug in the picture and said, I'm on my way. And that was pretty much the last communication they ever had. So we assumed that he was trying to break up with her on the answering machine.
And wanted his favorite mug back.
And then changed his story at the last minute.
Yeah.
Right. That one was funny to me.
What was the famous one, the celebrity? Was it Phil Collins or Sylvester Stallone that divorced their wife by sending a FedEx?
That was Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Wasn't Wasn't it a fax?
Yeah, no, fax was Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
He
okay.
sent a fax, and Phil Collins sent the FedEx divorce papers overnight to his wife.
Oh, and Carrie got busted up on Sex and the City with a Post-it note. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So thanks, T.
Thanks for having me.